Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time to work on the next section of my big heaven and earth design. This will be the last one this year. I still feel like I've not got as far as I wanted to this year, but that's the way life goes sometimes, is it not? So I've been down the colours and 300 is the first one that I need. I actually need quite a few of these as well. So I think I am going to, let's start from the bottom I think, and I'm going to work in sort of a grid across the bottom and try and get. And of course already I've started looking at this bottom and I actually want this bottom. So it's only these two that are placed wrong. Let me just take them up if I can get it. Oh, okay, it wants to stick to my finger, so we'll move it across. I'll be all right once I've got a line down. And then let's do that one. So this is the line I should be doing. Okay, so that's right. Now hopefully I'll be able to get the rest right. We'll see how well that goes. But yeah, I hope you are all well. I hope some of you got your advent kitted up yesterday. If not, you do still have time. I get that life gets busy for everybody, so you do still have plenty of time to kit up. I like to try and kit it up over a week early so that people have the chance then to fit it into their schedule ready for December. I in fact might have to kit up another one yet, because another one of my daughters is thinking of joining in the advent. She thinks she can manage it because it is only that small square per day, so she's going to give it a go. So I might end up kitting up a second one. She's not into kitting up. She quite enjoys doing the diamond painting when she gets round to doing it, but she's not into the kitting up of it. So I think I may end up doing that for her. But yeah, I'm quite excited to start it. I think I do enjoy doing the December Advent. Right, I've gone a little bit off single lines here just because the diamonds have become a little bit less, a little bit more scattered. But I'm still going to try and do this 10 by 10 square block before I move on to the next one. That doesn't help when I end up picking up two. Okay, so now I've marked those off. I'm going to tick them as being done. And then I've ticked that one as being done, but I've not actually done it. So let me just pop that one in there. I must have caught it with my finger. Get my diamonds to line up. And let's start with the questions. We do have a few. So Deborah did comment on my last Heaven and Earth design WIP and Chat where I did my mini one. Oh, in fact, I've not actually used my little sheet. So this is what I'm doing. Supersized Little Dreamers Tree Max Colours for my sins. 40 by 250. And I think I'm about here. I'm roughly here on this design, so nowhere near yet done. It is 32, nearly 33% done. We'll see what it's like when I'm finished. But that's what I'm working on. But Deborah says she's done a lot of cross stitch in the past, so she's used to working from a pattern, which can make Heaven and Earth design easier. You were used to working on, you know, in effect a blank canvas and then adding something to it. So stitches in the case of cross stitch, diamonds in the case of diamond painting. She says she's now doing a heaven and earth design, but she's making so many mistakes. She says, have you got any advice to have as to keep track where you are, especially when the colours are so similar, like greens? So it can be tricky when the shading is sort of very similar. I know when working on my mini, I did once do a lot of white first and then went to work on the other colours, and I actually found that really hard because Pattern Keeper, which is an absolute godsend for keeping track, it colours in the sections that you've done in the colour that they actually are. So this one has now turned a dark brown because that is the colour that I'm working on. And when I did it with white, it was quite confusing. Even though they were white diamonds placed, it was quite confusing knowing where I'd been and where I hadn't. All I can suggest is if you do have the likes of Pattern Keeper, for example, then yes, definitely use that. It is a lot easier if you can use the likes of the app because you can mark off as you go along. And that's actually easier with diamond painting than it is with cross stitching, I find, because, you know, I don't know what it is. It's a lot easier to sort of mark off as you go along without having to potentially put your cross stitch canvas down and pick it back up again. But I would start, if you can, I would start with the darker colours first. So start with the dark greens and work from the darkest to the lightest. And sometimes what you have to remember when you're working on the likes of a heaven and earth design is it takes longer. It always takes longer because you haven't got that symbol right in front of you that needs doing. So take it slower. Take it slower. Enjoy the fact that it's a slower process. Mix it up. Don't just do a heaven and earth design. Do something else as well. You know, you all know I do this heaven and earth design often as a WIP chat. And quite often there will be times where it comes to a WIP chat and, you know, in my order of things, in an ideal world, I would be working on my heaven and earth designs. And there are times when I just say, nah, I'm not working on my heaven and earth design today. I'm working on a different one. My brain's too busy, I've got too much going on, and I just don't have the same sort of mental space to work on my heaven and earth design. It takes a lot more thinking. It takes, you know, say more time. These tend to be my longer WIP chats, and that's because you do just need to check as you go along. And I really do enjoy Pattern Keeper for that. So especially now when it's a lot of one colour but it's very bitty and it's all over the place, I can, you know, just do a couple of diamonds across a row and mark them off. Just mark them straight away as being done. And then I can move on to the next bit. And sometimes I can get away with placing the diamonds in a whole square before I mark it off. And sometimes I'm marking them off one or two at a time as I go along, because that's what I also need to do to be able to keep track mentally of where I'm up to. So that is the bottom row done of this one. So let's move up here because there's not too many of these here, in the grand scheme of things anyway. It's a bit more black coming up. But yeah, take it slowly, double check where you're going. And in one way, try not to think of the colours as much. And if need be, count where your gaps are and where you're going to. And not think about what colour was placed in that space. If you find that you are still constantly, in effect, mistakes are happening with it, then what I would suggest is potentially working on a smaller section, because sometimes that can complicate things. So if you find that you're working on, for example, the same sort of section as me, but it's constantly happening, go down to a 4x4, and if need be, go down to a 2x2 and see if that helps. See, it will take longer, but it may help, not as much stuff in effect on your brain for you to think about, because you've not got as big a space. When I first started on this painting, I'm pretty sure I did a smaller section when I first started. This has become my default size section because it fits into the screen of my tablet nicely. So I can, the symbols are a nice size when it's in this section. And I'm finding that this is working well as a size for me, time-wise as well. It's not taking too long to do, and I'm not having to think, for really long periods of time, which is what can happen if it's the only thing you're working on. So yeah, try working from darker colours first. Maybe even try dropping down your section as well. You may find that you've got lots of greens in one section of the painting, but you haven't got it later on, depending on what your picture is. So at the moment I'm working on lots of browns and blues according to the section of the tree trunk and the sky that I'm on. But later on, especially like I did a bit further up, it becomes a lot of pinks and purples as it does sort of the blossom that's on the tree. And if you find one of those types of sections harder than the other, then maybe just do that section smaller. So while you're working on all the greens, do a smaller section. But then when you go back to, whatever other colour it is that you don't struggle with as much, do that bigger. So you feel as though you're getting a bit further on. Okay, that's another section done. Jill also says she'll be joining in on the kitting up. She has a wolf in her stash, so she'll be doing him. And she says Mr. Quackers is going to look great framed. He is. He's finished. I will say, as I am filming this, which is the same day the video's going up, Mr. Quackers is finished. He's not yet framed because, of course, I want to do a video on it. I'm hoping to be able to get some of the videos done for this week and for next. I'm hoping to get those done today. We'll see how time goes. I have quite a few videos that need doing for my other channel, Add More Zest with Diamonds. I've got quite a few videos that need doing for that channel as well this weekend. So we'll see if I manage to get him framed up. I think I've scheduled the video for week after next. I've scheduled the de-kitting for this week and the framing up for the week after. So he will definitely need to be done because I've got a video marked down to be done, and I want him done and up and the video up before I start the Advent. But yeah, he is finished. I actually started working on the Grinch one that I recently kitted up. I started working on him last night. I'm not sure if I'm liking the diamonds. I'm going to give it a bit longer because I've only started doing the session and I was tired last night, so I think there was also tiredness that meant I wasn't getting as much out of diamond painting as I often do. So we'll see how it goes. Right, that is 300 is done. Do we have any 301? We do, just a few. Just a few. Melissa says Ever Moment went over to poured glue on the 19th of October. Oh, I'm liking this knowledge. Okay, this is where it gets fun as well. So if, just to go back to what Deborah said, like now I've got quite a lot of a scattering and now I'm adding in more little things. So I look for things a bit like Tetris. So I've got that little sort of S or Z block and that's what I need to tuck it inside of. So I use that as well as a little bit of a guide, as well as this is up in the corner of my already marked out 10 by 10 grid. So I can work from there for my next one. So yeah, she said they went over on the 19th of October. She hasn't ordered one yet. She has Zesty Wolf, but she likes the idea of saving him for June. Oh, that'll be interesting if there's a few people that can save him till June. She's looking through her stash for a Christmas wintry one, maybe. We'll see what she decides when it all starts. But yeah, I'm excited to do it. I am excited to get him done. Right, let me get this last one of these done, because say there is only a few. So I don't feel like I need to mark off each section as I go along for him. And I've just managed to not find the pot with a couple of those diamonds. It's because I'm not stood up. I'm currently sat down. I tend to start WIP and Chats sitting down, and then I tend to end up standing up, and I stand up for everything else that I film. 310. Okay, let's get this big block of black fitted in. Oh, looks like I have nice quality black diamonds in here. They're looking good quality. That's always good. Let's get these scatterings done first, and then I can waffle my way through a big block. So we've got one there, then we've got one tucked in there. Okay, and then I get to start from this bottom bit and work my way up what is part of a dark part of the tree trunk. Oh, throw diamonds in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, what's next? Oh yes, sorry, Ever Moment. I did have a look at Ever Moment. A couple of people on the group and a couple of comments confirmed that they were on poured glue. I did start having a look on Ever Moment at their images, and then I was like, why am I looking now? Like, why am I not in fact forcing myself, but you know, taking the time right now to look through Ever Moment pictures when my channel is going to be full of Advent throughout the month of December. So I actually don't need, you know, to have one ordered and on its way that quick, because I'm not going to be able to do a video on it anyway. So I will look through Ever Moment. I do plan on ordering one and seeing what their poured glue is like. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a custom or whether I'm going to do one of their stock pictures. I'm not sure yet. I need to find one that I like. Their prices are not cheap. In fact, they can, depending on the size, they can be as much as many of the high-end companies. And their quality is nice. I suppose it's just when you think AliExpress, you don't think that higher price. But the quality's there, so fair dinkum to them for charging for the quality that they provide. So I'm going to have a good browse one day when I have the time to look through properly and see if I can find an image that I like and want to do. And yeah, I will take it from there. But it is on my to order list. It's just not urgent because December is busy with Advent. So I think I'm going to have enough with a WIP and Chat video a day to do. I think that's going to keep me busy enough. Or at least I hope it's going to keep me busy enough. Love the month of December. Okay, next question. Lady Dax, she says, I forgive you for not remembering my name. Oh, thank you. I am rubbish with names. I really am. She says, it must be very confusing when you're on YouTube and Facebook, names are different. Yes, it can confuse me. It can also confuse when sometimes people have maybe their maiden name or something that they put on their Facebook, for example. Maybe that's what they've they've just never changed it, or they use their maiden name on an order because that's what their payments are still set up as, but maybe they use a married name on Facebook. Some people have Facebook groups that they use to join groups that aren't their real name as much as they do on YouTube. So sometimes people's names can actually differ between an order, a YouTube comment and a Facebook group, and it can get really, really confusing. She says she has a confession to make. She'd already kitted up her Zesty Wolf. I like it. If it wasn't for my video schedule, I probably would have done the same. So I don't blame you. She couldn't wait, but she's not going to start on him before the 1st, as she does like working along with everybody else. Now, I get you. I actually ended up filming that video on the day that it went up, so I actually did kit him up yesterday, and the video went up yesterday. But that was because I had to keep stopping myself from kitting him up sooner and actually, do other videos that needed doing, because I really wanted to enjoy the process. But it was hard. It was something that I was itching to have filmed a lot earlier than I needed to. Right, I've got a little bit of a tight squeeze here with some of the diamonds. It's not the quality of these diamonds. These diamonds are actually really good quality. I think I've just gone a little bit too low on diamonds beforehand. So I've just picked the one that looked the smallest and it's fitting. So we're all good. Okay, 310. 310 is done. It's quite a full pot, that one. So let's get those diamonds back in. You can see the darkness. Oh, and she says AKA Paulette. I'll still probably forget, so just keep putting Paulette as a reply if you remember on your comments, and it'll sink in eventually. It takes a while sometimes for it to sink in for me, but it will get there. It will get there. Right, I'm trying to find my next colour. So I'm clicking down all my numbers, waiting for a symbol to highlight in, there we go, to highlight in green, to tell me it's one I need to do. Quite a lot of darker ones here. We are on a tree trunk. So I'm on 400. I've got a couple of different colours in here. And some of them don't want to lie flat. But as long as we get enough. Okay, let's do this big block over here. Now I don't quite know which way I'm going to fill these in now. I'm not going in straight lines, I don't think, because it can actually get more confusing to go in a straight line when you have some that are already done. So sometimes it's easier to work in mini blocks. And it doesn't help that these 400 are a couple of different shades, so some of them are matching a little bit different, but the overall design will look completely fine once it's done. I actually have noticed that there's 1 or 2 diamonds that have actually fallen off on my canvas. There's one up here that's actually come out, which is probably due to the fact that I have to roll this up each time. But I will, when I get to, it looks like it's going to be a green or a beigey colour, so I think I'm just going to wait until I end up putting some greens in, and I'll just bob one in there. I'm not going to try and find out what colour it's supposed to be, because that's just too much work. That's too much. Okay. Lindy says she's a little bit sad that Mr. Quackers is ending. I get that. I am actually really missing working on Mr. Quackers. I did enjoy it. I do have 2 more here. I have the pug and the giraffe. So I do have 2 more paintings from Diamond Art Studio. But I think when I kit up my next large one, I am going to let the app decide, I think. I think that's what I've decided. Because as much as I want to do Jeffrey and the pug, Jeffrey's my giraffe. As much as I want to do them, and I'm really itching to do the giraffe because I think I have a place he can be framed. I feel like some of my other large paintings are getting neglected or not getting looked at, especially with the Minions picture that I'm working on as well as my other large. That is such a big one. It takes a long time. I feel like, yeah, if I'm going to kit up another large one for doing in WIP and Chats, I need to get a chunk of my Minions done first, and maybe start doing some WIP and Chats with whatever my current diamond painting is, rather than it just being a set 4, you know, 2 large ones and 2 heaven and earth designs. Maybe I need to vary it up a little bit. So I feel like I need to get some of that Minions done so that it won't become something like my heaven and earth design that takes years. Okay, that blue dot's getting very sticky. Try it on my cover paper. Yeah, so I'm still undecided. I've not kit up another large painting yet. There is another kitting up for a smaller painting coming. I think it's next. I think it's this week coming up. If not, it's before the Advent starts. There is another kitting up coming up because I want to make sure that I have paintings I can work on off camera. So Mr. Zesty Wolf will of course be on camera, but I want to make sure I've got paintings that I can do otherwise. But I might try and fit in some Minions as well, depending on how long these others take me. And depending if Grinch sticks, we're going to see how the canvas looks and feels once I've got a big block of black done. And if I'm happy with the way that they seem a little bit big, you see, that's what's getting me. You have to quite tightly pack them together for them to fit. If the canvas starts showing any signs of, you know, popping or the diamonds, you know, coming up because they're having to be put so close together, then I might ditch it as a bad job. But so far, they're working fine. So I need to give it a good go before I give my final verdict on it. I've only spent about half an hour on it, so it's probably not enough time to tell yet. We'll see. But I suppose black is the one colour that's worth testing out the most anyway first. Oh, but I'm hoping that I'll get, you know, Mr. Grinch done. The next one that's getting prepared, which will be a smaller one that the app decides. And hopefully I'll get some of Mr. Minions done as well. It will depend on how busy life gets. I actually had 4 days this week where I couldn't diamond paint due to things we had on. Things we had on / shop stuff stopped coming in that needed sorting and things like that. And I didn't like it. So hopefully I will get a little bit more time to diamond paint and get some of those done. We'll see. Lindy says she's pushing herself to be done with the People's Princess. Oh, I've got that one as well, so that she can kit up her Christmas painting with us. Okay, next colour. Oh, we don't have any of that. Oh, a couple of 433, which is a brown. I only need 3 of them. Let's see if I can just get it to tip 3 out. No, it tipped 4 out. Isn't that always the way? So where am I going now? In there. And then up here. I tried to get at least one of them to line up straight then, and both of them did. Makes a nice change, I suppose. This glue dot is very sticky. We dab it on my clothes. You can either dab it on, you know, cover paper, or where it picks up little bits of maybe dust that the cover paper likes to pick up, or dab it on your clothes. Sometimes that gets a little bit more fluff on the glue dot and stops it being quite as sticky, but it'll still be plenty sticky enough for you to pick up diamonds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 1. I'm just double checking where I'm going. I'll still probably place one wrong, but I can try. 3. Oh, no, I did do that one. Oh, sometimes it's hard work. Okay, Susan. She says, there's part of me that's very sad you're also almost finished with Mr. Quackers, but there is another part that is happy and excited to see him completely finished and framed. He is her all-time favourite so far. Oh, it's not that one I want. That one I want. Oh, come on. What are you playing at? Let's go off and go back on. There we go. Wouldn't let me select it for some reason. She really wants to do him, but he's just too big, and the cost of shipping him to California is beyond what she's willing to pay. They do offer free shipping to the US when you spend a certain amount, so maybe if there's a second one that you like, it might be worth it shipping for you. She says she'll have to be satisfied with the next best thing, which is watching me complete him. So thank you for sharing him with us. Oh, I've really enjoyed doing him. I have. He's been so much fun. It just makes me smile when I see his face, which is why he's going at the top of my stairs in the hallway. Oh, we got 2 orange. Oh, I need the next case. So that was my 151 to 601. Now I need my 603. Now I only need 2 orange, and this is quite full. And as we've all found out already, my glue dot is very sticky. So I'm going to see if I can just pick a couple that off the top that are facing the right way. See if my glue dot will just pick them up. Oh, it did, and then it dropped it. Not quite in the right place though. Try there. So that's those 2. I know we're going to end up with a lot more browns in these colours here, but I do need to go through, because the reason this app is so good, see, look, that one I nearly missed it, because there is only 2 over in this far corner. Trying to get it to just release 2. Yeah, sometimes it can be extremely easy to miss a symbol. When I was working on the paper plan, and or when I was working on a PDF viewer that didn't highlight the symbols in the same way for me, I missed so many. Okay, 780. Can't find it for looking. I'm surprised there wasn't any 779. Okay, that's far more than I need, but that'll do. She says Susan says she's just finished the painting she was working on for her brother. He's captain of the USS Lake Champlain, and she'll be mailing it out to him on Monday. Oh, do let us know what he thought of it, Susan, because by the time I've read this comment out, you should have posted it to him, so hopefully he's received it. Do let us know what he thinks. It's a 35 by 45 square of an eagle and shield, and says the sea is ours, United States Navy. She completed the entire thing using the same glue dot in her pen. She flipped it twice but never replaced it. The glue dots really are amazing. Yeah, I will agree with you there. I've had the odd time. So in a pen I've currently been using sort of for my off-camera diamond painting. I've been using it for quite a while, and I did find when I first put the glue dots in, they did need, you know, that little bit of priming against your clothes a little bit more. And when I say, you know, more, it wasn't loads in the first sitting. It was in, you know, the first week or 2. They needed a bit more priming. Then I found that another week or so later, I felt as though I was pulling them out and turning them round a little bit more often. But then after I had that time where I felt like it wasn't getting or keeping it sticky for long, so that was the time I have to keep turning it around more often than I'd done before. After that, I found that I haven't touched or messed with my dot in my pen for about 3-4 weeks, and it's still going. I've not had to take the glue dot out and sort of pop it back in, like turn it round or, you know, put it in at a slightly different angle. I've not had to do that. I've not had to dab it on my clothes because it's too sticky to prime it, and it's just, it's going. It's not giving me any problems. She says she's going to be following along with the Advent. She has a wolf head diamond painting in her stash that she'll be completed, which is why she didn't get the zesty wolf, because she has a wolf. And she'll kit mine up when at the same time I kit mine, which will have been yesterday. And thank you so much for sharing with us all. Let's not do that. I know I'm not going to need a huge amount of these colours here because they're blues, but I still want to check. Okay, 814. Because I flip past so many colours, often I can miss where the numbers are. Okay, so I need one over there, one over here. I don't know if I've actually tipped enough out, but we'll see how we go. No, I haven't tipped enough out, but I only need 2 more, so I might just try and dip in the pot for those. One up here One there. It's quite full, this pot, but I don't know if my glue dot is... It's sticky, I just don't know if it's sticky enough to get hold of it lightly. Oh, and I've managed to get 2. There we go. There's dead one done. Got any of those? Not on this row, it's on the next row. 817. Bright red. This one's quite full as well. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'll take 2 out and drop them. Let's try this. 1, 2. Okay, what's the next one? Mary Jones. She says, have you ever considered vlogging some of your packing or packaging? Just a sneak peek into packing a few orders, or even showing the preferred setup for packing after a launch. That's something we've not done. We could potentially look at maybe kitting up or packing up some things, you know, that we get in bulk and we need to prepare and package so that they're ready for going out for orders. In relation to orders, we'd have to see if we could do it without sharing any details, of course, because when we tend to pack, I actually do a lot of the packaging. Megan does some, but quite often she does a lot of other behind the scenes stuff. So I pack while she's doing that. Sometimes we do it as a tag team. So Megan will get all the stuff and I will then package it all up. But we do tend to have, of course, the order forms out, which have customer details on. And then we have, we do write the customer's name and order number on the front of the packaging so that we can then do postage and apply the right label to the right parcel, because nobody wants to be sent the wrong parcel, especially when you get excited that your parcel's arrived. You don't want to open it and find out it's not what you want. So I'll have to have a think about if I can show the packing process without sharing any customer details, because of course that is a big no. I'll see. I'll see if that's something I can do. Maybe it'll have to be more of a, you know, stories on Instagram or Facebook, sort of showing things bit by bit where we can blur things out if we need to. Okay, 902, very nearly done with this second case. I feel like we've not got many symbols left, to be honest, showing on here. Once I've done this one, I'm only seeing 4 or 5 symbols left. So it must be that we're doing quite big amounts of each of the next colours. Is that one? Yes, it is. This is where I have to really check that I am putting things into the right place and the right gaps, especially when things are scattered about a bit more. So those 2, and then 1, 2, 3. That's those. We tick those because then it makes them go dark because they all blur into here. Margaret says she's looking forward to kitting up Zesty Wolf. And she says, enjoyed the video. She says she scratches the tip on the cover sheet. She said it might take a few scratches, but it does help to reduce the stickiness of the glue dot, because of course there's like a waxy residue on the cover sheets. So by giving it a few scratches on the cover sheet, it can help reduce the stickiness. She says, thank you for posting her order so quickly. I hope it arrives before Christmas. So do I. I think you're in Australia, Margaret, and some of the orders, we did have an order that arrived in about a week or just over a week. But then we have some orders that have taken their sweet time. I know my family live in Australia, and I know they have said they've had quite a lot of delays with parcels in Australia. There seems to be a backlog. I mean, they live in the state of Victoria, so I don't know if it's different per state or not. But yeah, when we had the first batch of Zesty Wolf in, Australia was a definite to ship to, because you're far away, one, which always takes its time, but if you add into that the fact that there's a parcel delay in that country as well, it can just make things even worse. Right, so 919, just get my other case back. Ta-da! Look, I've still got stickers that came with this case in the top of it. Never taken them out. Okay, 919. What's the next comment? I know there's been a few comments. Arisa says she can't join this year's Advent as she's going on holidays for almost half of December. So she's not going to carry with her a diamond painting. I get that. She does have a cross-stitch project, so she'll keep seeing the videos and enjoying the process while she stitches. I like that idea. There was somebody who said, I'm not sure if it was a YouTube comment, I think it was a YouTube comment on the kitting up yesterday. She said it's a very busy time for her this time of year. I don't know whether that's work, family, or mixture of the above. But she's actually got some Christmas stickers. So she's going to do some of them as and when she can. As part of like the Advent. So she's got some little projects, that she can do and have completed, and whether she has completed 1 sticker, 2 stickers or 5 stickers type thing will just depend on how much time she's got. So I like that idea as well. If maybe you haven't got time to do a full diamond painting, but maybe you've got what I like to call off the canvas project, maybe some key rings or something like that, maybe get out those, and have them about, so that if you can find that little bit of time for yourself, you've got something ready to go. It doesn't have to be a big overwhelming project. It can be whatever you want it to be. The idea is that you try, when you can, to carve out just a little bit of time for you and your hobby. And whether that be a full diamond painting or whether that be some stickers, that is really, up to you and the time that you have. But I'd love it if you could join us as much, when you can, to do a little bit of something for yourself. Okay, this seems to be the batch of colours now that is all the letters. So I've just spotted there's another tiny symbol there as well that looks like I only need 1. Okay, that's that one. And then 2, not that section of 2, this section of 2. Yeah, it does look like I only have 3 symbols left now from what I can see. One of them I only need 1 of. And the other ones are basically making up the rest of it. Oh no, maybe not, because there's another symbol up there. See, this is where it gets confusing. Okay. Let's keep tapping through. I'm wondering if I've missed that one. Guess we'll find out in a bit. Okay, here's one of the big ones. 938. It's going to be another brown, isn't it? It's Odd Browns for the tree trunk. Okay, we've got a mixture of some other colours in here as well, i.e. other browns I think they're going to be. And they're very similar symbols, which is why highlighting it or getting it highlighted in green can help. You can change the colour of the highlight on this app as well to make it something that stands out for you. Okay, I'm going to try and do these sort of in little bits because I know I'm going to have little-ish sections, but there are parts where I still need to put a different colour diamond in. So those are done. And then this is where I have a scattering. So I have one there and I'm actually leaving a gap for what I think is 3371. We've got another 2 there and then 1 down here. Let's mark those as done. So we've just got a little scattering of circles left to do on this side. And then we've got quite a lot in this one as well. Diamond Art Studio. So Sam says she's actually quite sad to see him finished as she's been working vicariously through me on this one. She says her own Mr. Quackers only has 1 row complete and she started him in June. That is because you've had a very, very busy, crazy few months. Sam, she says she needs to start doing what I do and have a set schedule for your own painting time. Yes, you do. You need to carve out time for you. Where you switch off from all things crazy and just, I put in an audiobook a lot of the time. I pop in an audiobook, listen to a few chapters. You know, if I feel like I need to get up and stretch, I'll get up and I'll potter, and I might, you know, reply to emails on my phone, like business wise that might need doing, things like that. But then I'll go back to the book, partly because I want to listen to the book and also it gets me back to diamond painting. But I also can't just, I'm not very good at just sitting and watching a TV show. It's not something I do very well. I much prefer to be doing multiple things at once. So quite often if I'm watching a TV show, I'm also diamond painting. Okay, where am I up to? I'm actually down here. And then I need those 2. And then those 2. Okay, I was getting myself a little bit confused there because they're all dark symbols. I got myself a little confused in that kerfuddle. Let me mark those off. So yes, schedule your own diamond painting, please, Sam. If need be, we can hold you all accountable if you'd like to put up on your business page when what evenings you're going to be diamond painting, and people can shout at you if you reply to comments and stuff in that time. I'm sure people will be willing to do that. Okay, that's that done. Denise, she says Ever Moments default is poured glue now. They've also said it's a new plush canvas. Oh, that'll be nice to see. She says she hopes it doesn't mean that their printing's changed because she doesn't like Diamond Art Club's gapping on squares. And it's the only thing she's nervous about. I know Diamond Art Club's gapping has improved. When I did not Zesty Wolf, that's my painting. When I did Quirky Fox, that was it. When I did Quirky Fox, considering I did Mama's Knows Best and their squares gapped, and I was rather disappointed. When I did Quirky Fox, it was very nice and snug. It was a really nice painting to work on. So hopefully they have improved. And Evermoment has always been pretty good at keeping an eye on their quality. They seem to be, it seems to help. There must be a pure diamond painter there that actually tests out these things. And I think that's sometimes what can make a difference with a company, is somebody who actually, tests their products and, pays attention to the finer quality of stuff in the actual use of the product. It can make a huge difference to somebody who really just doesn't know about the hobby the same, and therefore can't pay attention to the fine details in the same way. I'm pretty sure Evermoment have somebody that can pay attention. Okay, where's the pot? Oh, it's over here. I lost where the pot was. She says she's ordered 6, including 2 customs. 4 are her usual 50 by 70 or 50 by 75. And 2 are larger at 60 by 90 and 60 by 75. My goodness me, you're keeping yourself busy. She says because a few people didn't like the switch, you can still request to get the double-sided tape. And it will be done on the same canvas that they used to use. They've also revamped their drill packaging. Apparently it's still the individual packets like they were doing before, but there's been chatter that the quality has improved. Oh, that's good, because I did prefer their older quality of diamonds to the more recent. So I'm happy for that. She's excited to get them and to try them out herself. She says that's for sure. Diamond Art Club's gapping issues have been a turn off for her, which I get. I say it was a turn off for me. It was only getting Quirky Fox that made me give them a go, and they were actually better. She says not a single other company she's tried has left her happy with the final product as Evermoment, so she could say she's gotten quite picky. Yeah, you should try Diamond Art Studio though. I love their squares. Mr. Quacker's was awesome to do. Well, it must be I got the other 2 in squares rather than getting them in rounds. I didn't get frightened off by their square quality. I was very impressed with their square quality. And I think that's partly why I miss doing him. Because the quality of him was so good. I actually miss working on him when I've gone to another company's square with the Grinch Christmas, and it's not quite the same quality. And I think that's why I need to give myself a little bit more time with him as well, with the Grinch, before I make my final decision. Because, yeah, I've been working with Diamond Art Studio quality, so in effect I've been spoilt. And I need to give myself a little bit more time before I determine if it's just the fact that it's a different quality or whether it's the fact that it is poor quality. That's what I've not yet determined. If it's poor quality or if it's just different quality, and that is quite a big thing. So I don't want to hold myself yet that Grinch is poor quality, because I've not yet determined that. He could just be different to the likes of Mr. Quacker's that I'm working on. Even this, doing this Heaven and Earth design with my spares, it is a different type of diamond, because I'm using multiple diamonds and I'm doing it on a blank canvas. They don't sit the same way that Mr. Quacker's did, because the diamonds are actually from multiple different companies. And you've seen there's been a couple of times today when I've sort of had to squeeze the diamond into the spot. And that is purely just because it's multiple different companies. It doesn't mean they're bad diamonds. They're just different diamonds. So we'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to be left with 2 colours at the end. 2 single diamonds. Okay, what other questions have I got? Because I am I'm getting there on the questions. I think it's been that long a video. I'm getting there. Brianne, she says, Mr. Quackers is looking so cute. She's really looking forward to the advent and seeing Zesty Wolf come to life. She's always done 1 kit at a time, but she does have a plan to have an extra kit going through December so that she can still work with the group and still get on with some of her others, as she has a couple to do as gifts. She does medical billing from home and she's required to take an hour lunch. So she plans to work on the advent then on her hour lunch and do her others in the evening. That's good. I like that. December advent is a perfect time actually to test doing 2 diamond paintings at once if that's something that you've not done before. It's the perfect time to give it a go because you have a set amount for your December advent because your canvas is split into 24, and then the rest you can do dependent on time and see how you like working on 2. Some people do section up a diamond painting and will only do 1 section of it for 1 canvas, and then we'll work on another canvas. So see what works for you. She says more fun word differences. I love the word differences. She says it sounds like your chips are what we call French fries in the US. It's fun learning new terms or slang from other English speaking areas. So yeah, we do use the term sort of French fries as well, or fries, but they're the really, really thin, like McDonald's type chips. You know, we tend to call them French fries. Chips tend to be thicker, like the nice, you know, ones that I know my mother-in-law used to do. You know, she used to actually chop up a potato to make the chips. They're, you know, the ones you get from the chip shop. They are like the solid chips. So yeah, we use French fries for the thin ones, and then we use chips for the others. Come on, why will you not select on that? Okay, my canvas is just having a moment. I don't know if it's actually got an update for this, but it's not letting me click on it. Let me try zooming in. See if it's just my fingers. So I want to search. No, it's not my fingers, it's the thing. It just doesn't want me to be able to find what these 2 are. Okay, let's just look for them. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to keep scrolling down in the hope that I haven't missed one, but I've got a feeling I've missed that one. And I must have just missed it turning green. Okay, there's one. 3857. So that's in my last case. 3857. And this is sort of a mix. Oh, look, how many do I need? I don't need 3 of them. I just need 1. I've got 2 different colours of diamonds in there. One of them's a purpley colour. Now you're not going to let me highlight you, are you? There we go. Okay, and then the triangle, I've got a feeling it's a 900 one. Because I think there was one that I was surprised. There we go. There's one that I was surprised I didn't have, and I obviously did have. I just didn't pay attention. Oh, it's actually in this one that I've already got out. Okay, that's good. Right, what other questions do we have? I think we had 1 or 2 comments left. Deborah, she says, really enjoyed the video. She's almost done with her second diamond painting. Both have been 30 by 40. She loves it. And she's trying to watch all of my videos. Oh, you'll be there for an eternity, Deborah. I have done so many videos. I tried to work out what YouTube was saying I'd done for videos, and I think it's hit a few thousand, potentially. So you may need to pick a playlist and work through that on, you know, maybe one of your favourite topics. Or potentially go to, if you want specific, like, tips and tricks and things like that. If you want preparation videos, there's a playlist for it. If you want certain things that I've done, like comparisons or about my spare storage or things like that, then go to my website, and under videos I've categorised some of the more popular ones. She's not sure what a waffle is. It's just me talking non-stop. Deborah, it's just a way of saying chitter chatter, chatter. I'm trying to think what the other American words were that people used. But yeah, it's just like chattering, talking, not stopping talking quite often. Yeah, I'm waffling. I'm just saying stuff, random stuff. And then last comment that we had, Jeanette says, thank you for showing pouring of the drills from the tray to the bottle a few weeks ago. She now pours without spilling drills or losing the plug. Awesome. She says, by the way, and this may be a tip for some of you, she said when the tray was new, the drills didn't pour out of it as easily. She wiped it down with a baby wipe and the tray went from good to perfect. So if you do find that your drills stick a little bit, probably just needs a little baby wipe. And that's probably just from, you know, the 3D printers when they've finished it and stuff like that. It might have just picked up a little bit of residue from the mechanics of the machine. But yes, I'm glad that worked for you, Jeanette. She says she only uses her pink tray now. Love it. Right. Look. Ta-da! I am done. I do have a couple of gaps where diamonds have come out when I've rolled it up. I do have a little roller that I do try and go over it on, but I have manhandled this painting quite a bit recently when I've been sorting out in this craft room, craft space. So I do actually have 2 little spaces where something's come out. I think they need more of a green colour than a brown colour. So I will fill those in when I end up with a green out and about. But I'll also do a check on the whole painting before it's done and dusted. So if I do find that I've lost any more, I can fill in with a similar colour. But I don't think you can tell. You can't even necessarily tell that they're missing. So maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut. Anyway, that is another section done. That's it for Heaven and Earth Design this year. There will be more in 2022, of course. Hopefully a lot more. But just to show you, so that is the bottom at the moment. This is all the bits that are done. I'm trying to sort of unroll it and roll it at the same time. But that's the tippy top. So there was a lot of 939 at the beginning. And then to scroll down, we've done a lot of branches and blossoms. And we have a fairy. Have one of the fairies. And then if it rolls, I'm trying to get it to roll up properly, so I don't have to unroll it and roll it up again when we're done. And then we've actually just finished off the last part of like a heart in the tree. You see how it shows a heart? And that was all those 3 10s at that angle, helping to just make up the heart. Make up the big part of the heart with like a bird in it. So yeah, a bit more to go, but it's definitely getting there. And I tend to roll both sides up like this, and that's how I tend to store it. Because it's going to be till next year we're doing it, I might actually just roll it a little bit more that way, so my diamonds are a little bit more protected. And that may help me actually not lose some. It's probably that caused me to lose some. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.